Gospel.
I'd say the last year has been uh, an interesting, changing, metamorphosizing year for everybody, and especially for you and the ministry. You're somebody who goes everywhere to sing, to minister, as you talked about traveling. you know um you're somebody. I think this is a blessing. If your voice is not working, then you can play your guitar and still minister and talk, so you're blessed in that way. But how, you know on the 23rd of March last year, everybody went into lockdown, and everybody who's a singer, their world was turned upside down. How did you cope, and what things did you put in place to make sure that you were still busy working and ministering?
I think one of the things is that I'm always you know at the heart of what I do is ministry, and hosting the presence of God and all the things that we do with worship. And obviously being full time, that puts a different spin on a lot of things. There are many worship leaders who are working for local church, um, so they could be furloughed. There are many worship leaders who are, worship leading is their main thing, but they have an amazing tent making a job in the city somewhere or wherever. Um, but for me, like I said, I went to Nigeria, and when I came back like the 22nd of March,
Wow.
and on the 23rd there was a lockdown. It so happened that an interesting thing happened. I was invited to lead worship for a online TV program, and on the Thursday. And what happened was I couldn't make it because of the lockdown, and they're telling everybody to keep safe. So I ultimately thought, well, why don't I just pick my guitar and record something on my phone? And I did like a 20-minute set of worship on my phone, and then had the problem of getting it off my phone um, onto the computer, to send it to the person. Oh my God. But that was my first learning curve. And basically, this video went all over the place. So on this video went out on the Thursday. On the Friday, I was getting phone calls from pastors and churches that were saying, my gosh, we're going online to do our worship, and we don't have any songs. We don't have nothing. We haven't recorded, because obviously their worship teams don't record. So here I was. I spent the first lockdown recording videos in my home, acoustic videos. And I basically learned a new skill, and how to basically edit my videos. Um, some were single camera, some were single camera shoots, and then the multiple camera shoots. 3 or 4 cameras. I think at one time I did a live video worship set for a Caribbean initiative that came out of Barbados. And it ended up being like a 4 or 5 camera shoot. There's a camera on the guitar, there's a camera on my face, there's a camera me playing, there's a camera side shot, there's all these things. So after shooting that, solo really in many ways, then I sat in the computers and learned to edit that stuff. And it actually helped to shape a lot of things. Now everybody's doing it, but I still continue to serve. And I think what I realized was there were many small churches who didn't have their own buildings. Not only didn't have their own building, they didn't have musicians that could do a level of worship online. And these churches began reaching out to me. So and I've been serving these churches. Some people have come back for seconds and thirds. Of course, it's like, whoa. Um, but I've been able to do that, and it's basically a worship video with lyrics on it. And I've been really pleased about that, because that the leaders have recognized that Noel lived within the ecology of the church finances. So they invite me and they give me an honorarium, and I'm able to live and pay my bills, mortgage, and all those different things. But many of the pastors realize that, hey, um, no, we really need to look after him because he's part of the temple. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? And they really reached out and took the videos, and some were tremendous in their honorariums. Tremendous. I was like, what? Uh, I don't think you'd pay me this if I was coming with your whole band. But with a whole band, but tremendous blessing. So in many ways, I was able to develop that skill of videoing and recording myself. Recording myself for preachers. I think my the joy of a well-known one of the well-known TV stations. They took a three-camera shoot and played it live across. Well, it was God TV actually, but they played it live across the world, and it was like shot by me. And they went, "This is really good. The lighting's not too bad." I'm like, "Okay, I'm learning." You know, and then what happened? Brilliant around August last year, just at the end of the first shutdown, I get commissioned. My first TV show gets commissioned, Vox Collective with TBN UK. So it's absolutely amazing. So we do a 12-part series sponsored by Compassion and TBN, and amazing inviting worship leaders like Martin Smith and shoulder not shoulder sorry like Martin Smith and so many different guys, Moiwa, so many different worship leaders from all different walks of life, and it's just really an extension of the kingdom worship movement, and the things that we're doing. That's
Yeah,
good.
I mean, I managed to see you. It's like Noel's in South Africa. I happened to be watching a church, and then I think it was Every Nation in Cape
Every
Town, and
nation,
in Cape
yeah.
Town, and then you were on there. I was like, this guy is really, he's at home, but he's all over the world, and he's really made a difference. So, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
How was it tedious trying to learn how to edit from scratch with nobody teaching you, and how did you learn
Well, I
and
mean,
learn so quickly?
yeah, I mean, the big thing for me was that I knew I need to get A, B, C, and D. So in terms of editing, I know A, B, C, and D. So I know how to start the project. I know how to edit the project. I know how to put words and put different transitions in, and then I know how to save the project, um, and all the kind of stuff that needs to happen with that. So um, very much for me, there's a couple of people that I would ring if I got stuck, and my good friends in Dunstable, Julian and Josh Carr, I'd ring and say, "Hey man, how do you do A, B, and C?" And he'd go, "Okay, did it?" And I was writing it down on paper, so I could do it. So um, you know, I learned along the way, when I filled up my hard drive on my machine and I couldn't start my machine, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I need to get another hard drive to save stuff to. So you learn as you go along. But yeah, I mean, I'm able to do that and just do the basics. And I don't really want to take away the job of someone who's actually that's what they do all the time. But I felt that for turnaround and for ease of speed and also economically doing it yourself does help. um I was able to do nearly 30 videos that I have upline that I can send to the church at any given time, and people have been blessed, and then putting lyrics on it, putting words on it, so people don't have to do that. And so I think that's been the beauty of another skill.
So you can now add film director to your
Well,
so
yeah, I'm not a film director, but you shoot yourself and you edit it, and you make it all work, don't you?
what are you looking forward to coming out of the lockdown? Because you've pretty much, it feels like you've pretty much conquered something brand new, and it's turned into the new norm. So what are you looking forward to when you come out of lockdown?
Well, one of the things I spent during the lockdown, especially this third lockdown, um, was looking after my I've got lots of material all over the place. And I think that one of the things was really getting in touch with my social media, YouTube and all those kind of things. Uh, and bringing them up to date. So I had a chance to update stuff, put stuff up, put some of the songs up online, and so people could grab them. So that's been something I'm doing, and I think in the future, obviously, how we look at recording, visuals is very much a part of it these days. Um, so I've got a few projects in mind that we want to do. We're hoping this year to bring out the best of Noel Robinson. Having done 6, 7 albums, wanted to do one compilation of songs from way back when. You are my savior, oh taste and see, which were some of the first worship songs that were homegrown, that churches began to sing back in the 90s. So most certainly want to do that right up until we've got the latest album, I surrender, I surrender, faith alive, grace alive, and I think that you know I'm still wanting to do more music. I've written a few songs this during this lockdown. I haven't written as much as I wanted to, because one of the realities of the lockdown is that as an artist, it's often it, you know the energy to do really in this third lockdown struggled with, to get up and do something. So that's the artist side of me. um so I'm just getting back into the groove. I've just finished doing a library music project, where I just sat with my guitar and created a melody and tunes, and that's coming out. So there's lots of little things that even some things are not really the Christian community would know, but most certainly I'm writing, and we've got a couple of songs that are going to come out this year for the whole church movement. So excited about some of those things.
We're looking forward to the seeing and hearing those projects. Now, how can people connect with you on the socials?
Yeah, well, the first place you can connect with me is on my website, noelrobinson.com. And on the site, what you'll find is some of the things I've been doing. The Vox Collective TV show that's gone out all over the world now, and also you'll see on there my affiliations with Compassion, where we did a live Compassion at Christmas carols concert, which was absolutely amazing, and we had 100 children sponsored. I'm really so happy about that. And then you can see where, if you want to support my ministry, there's a giving page where you can support it even a monthly, or you can support it by just donating a love offering to me. And I'm thankful for so many people that have done that. We've seen how God has really helped me during this season. And then you can find me on Noel Robinson UK, Instagram and Twitter. Those are my at the UK. Those are my Instagram and Twitter accounts. Then you can find me Noel Robinson on Facebook, and I have a music page. And also, a private page which is really open. I only really post stuff about ministry and want to encourage people, so I use the platforms. I'm not in TikTok like you are, sir, but I've got my own. I got my own TikTok, But yeah, so that's where you can find me.
Noel Robinson, thank you so much. Again, you're somebody who's always encouraged. You're an encourager to the body, and we really pray that this next season is your best ever yet. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank Premier for all the work they're doing, Premier Gospel. I listen to you guys all the time, on especially in the afternoon shows, Ibe. Listening to the music that you guys do, and you're enriching people's lives. You really are. You're going into their homes, and um, you know, people who probably wouldn't be able to afford to hear the gospel, but you make it affordable for them. So we're praying that you continue to stay on the air, continue to do the stuff that you do. Blessings.
Premier Gospel.